Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here on Keep Running with BK, and today is a very special video. We're going to be sharing the results of our first ever virtual event. This past Saturday we held the Keep Running with BK virtual 5K prediction run, and the results are in, so stay tuned, we'll be right back. So welcome back everyone for this week's video, and I'm very excited to share really how our first ever virtual event went. If you're new here, my name is Bill. I am the host here on Keep Running with BK, and we held a virtual 5K prediction run this past weekend where I asked friends and supporters, subscribers of the channel, to email me their prediction time for a 5K. And after running that 5K on Saturday, I asked them then to send me their actual results. I would compare those, and if they wanted to share some stories, maybe even a few pictures. And I've gotten responses back from all the participants, and I plan on sharing with you not only my own results, but I have a couple of special honorable mentions, and then I'll share with you more details about our top 3 finishers. So starting off, why don't I talk about my own run first? So I think I've done one other prediction run over the years. I think it was a longer event, and it was probably over a decade ago, so I don't remember all the details around it. It was even an odd distance, which even made it more challenging, but I thought that was really fun. I thought it really challenged me as a runner, and I think it challenged all of us in probably different ways. You know, there's all kinds of runners out there, and all of us are of all different abilities, all different goals, and all different places in our running journey. And so the nice thing about a prediction run is it doesn't award the fastest runner like many other events that are out there, which, you know, those events are fine too. I love those challenges. But this one challenges you to choose whatever method you want to choose, and how to predict your time, and then you go out and you run and you see how close you can get to your actual prediction time. Now, in the strictest form, I don't think you're allowed to run with a watch, so that you can't necessarily gauge how you're doing. I didn't impose those types of restrictions in this race. I think I just really wanted it to be a fun event for us all over the globe who support this channel, to be able to do something together kind of at the same time and just have fun doing it, which I think we did. For me personally, I looked at my training and tried to gauge how it was going compared to this time last year. I have been really focused on longer distances and trail running for most of my running over the past 10 years or so. And so I haven't really focused on these shorter distances. I haven't really focused on, you know, running, you know, at that level of intensity that you typically think of when you think of a 5K race. In fact, I've only run one other 5K in, I think, over 15 years. And that was last year. It was a virtual event for a charity back in June. And I also looked at how my training so far this year compared to the training around that time, and they're fairly comparable. I did have a little bit of speed work under my belt last year, unlike this year, where really the past 5 months or so has been all easy math training. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to challenge myself to beat my time from last year. And I, being the conservative person that I generally am, when it comes to taking risks, I only said I want to improve by 7 seconds. And long story short, well, rather than me just explain it to you, why don't you watch this short video of my actual 5K and see how that unfolds. So there you have it. I actually ran over a minute faster than I expected. I had a lot of fun doing that. I kind of knew roughly a mile and a half in when I kind of looked down at my watch just to kind of gauge what the heart rate was, and I had my watch set on what the actual pace was, and I knew I was way ahead of say the target pace for what I intended. I was feeling pretty good. I wanted to challenge myself at that point to see if I could hold on to that for the rest of the distance, and for the most part I was happy with how even my splits kind of were, with no speed work and really not running a 5K like that for a very long time. But enough of me. I want to kind of get into some of you out there who support the channel, and just really recognize some of you, and really just thank all of you for your participation. It's a great start to the virtual events that we have planned for the channel this year. I really hope that many of you, and even more of you, will join me for the challenge later this summer. But we're not here to talk about that. Let's start off with my first honorable mention. And this first person is a really good friend of mine. Chris and I have known each other for a very long time, and he actually has gone through 2 hip replacements in the past 5 years. And you know, I think of Chris, I don't think of him in the sense of a runner like myself, or maybe even many of you, where we're out there trying to see how fast we can go and putting in large amounts of, you know, volume of mileage. Chris is really, for the most part, just trying to, you know, improve his health and fitness. I think he's just trying to stay active. You know, when you have a major surgery like that, you know, you use it or you lose it. And when you have a traumatic experience such as a hip replacement or a knee replacement or a major surgery like that, when you get, you know, a little bit past your prime years, you know, it can be a real challenge to stay active. And I'm really proud of Chris. He's one of the biggest, most encouraging supporters of the channel and my running in general. I love sharing with him, and I love to see him when he gets out there and does all kinds of 5Ks. And so, Chris, I just wanted to say, give you a shout out and say I'm really proud of you, and thanks for participating. The second honorable mention I want to share comes from Australia. And so Adam lives down in Australia, and he was one of the first people to respond to me with his prediction time. And he said, you know, I'm planning on running the local park run with my daughters, and I'm going to have to get up and get out there even earlier to get my 5K in. So he got up pretty early, got to the park, ran there on the trails. Probably not with the greatest lighting, which, you know, can hinder you a little bit. But I wanted to give him a shout out because, one, I just appreciate that, you know, he wanted to run with his daughters at the park run. I know there have been rare occasions where my daughters have wanted to get out there and run and do that with me. And that is just a delight and something that I really much enjoy. And much like myself, Adam surprised himself a bit and really blew his prediction out of the water. In fact, I think he probably, looking at the numbers here, he probably went under his time by more than any other participant in the prediction run. And I don't know if anyone's going to complain about that. He actually went on to run his personal best 5K. He's not typically one who does fast running like this. It's mostly slow running, more for distance and things along those lines. And congratulations, Adam, with a personal best. And I think you had the best running partner for this, only in Australia, right? Adam had a kangaroo spotting on the trail there. He tried to take this picture. It's a little blurry because of, obviously, he's running pretty fast. They're moving pretty fast, and the lighting wasn't the greatest. But how's that for a pacer, having a kangaroo pace you on your prediction run? Well, before I get to the top 3 finishers in the prediction run, I just want to take this moment. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel, and it's free. It really supports the channel and helps to promote running content here on YouTube in general. So if you like this kind of content, if you like to get training tips, running insights, or motivational ideas, that's really what we're all about here on Keep Running with BK. And I share all kinds of information from my own training, be it training for races, training plans, training methods, but also events like this. And we do have more virtual events planned for later this year, roughly 1 each quarter, and you don't want to miss out on that. So click the like button there if you want to get notifications when new videos post. I strive to post 1 video every week. Go ahead and click the bell, and if you'd like what you're hearing here, consider giving me a thumbs up. That certainly helps to get more visibility on the video and the channel. And so with that, I'd like to move on to the top 3 finishers in the 5K prediction run. And first up, coming in at 3rd place, is Paul. Now, Paul, like myself, has been focused primarily on MAF training, and so his strategy wasn't to go out there and necessarily run the fastest time he possibly could. He wanted to test his MAF training. You know, like myself, when you're doing MAF training for an extended period of time, you're kind of monitoring those gradual incremental improvements that you're making, and you have a pretty good idea of the range of your pacing. And I almost thought about going with this approach myself, but that was the approach that Paul took going into this race. And I think he did have some last minute modifications he had to make to his plans, just like myself. You know, oftentimes we make plans and things come up and they don't always go like we thought or hoped. But even with those minor adjustments, he managed to go out there with a prediction time of 28 minutes 54 seconds. He ran in 28 minutes 20 seconds, so just over a half a minute faster than what he predicted, and that just over 30 seconds margin puts him in 3rd place. So congratulations, Paul. I appreciate your participation, and nice job there on your race. Coming in 2nd place, all the way from Dublin, Ireland, is Peter at a prediction time of 27 minutes. And he was actually the first person to email me once registration opened up and give me his prediction time. So unlike most of you who waited to kind of like the last hour, the last minute to make your predictions, I appreciate his courage and sending it in early. And job well done, sending in early and taking 2nd place on the podium, the virtual podium, here in our first virtual event. And, you know, Peter, he shared some pictures as well, which I'm sharing here on the screen. And he said it was a lovely sunny morning on a very flat course. He too was running a local park run. Personally, I'm jealous of those of you that live in parts of the world where you have park runs, which I think is a wonderful idea to encourage people to get outside, to be active. And these park runs typically are a 5K race at various parks every weekend, as I understand. And so he had about 160 other participants that he was running with, and he ended up running a 26:32, so 28 seconds off his prediction time, which was good enough for 2nd place on our virtual podium. So congratulations to you, to Peter, and thanks for sharing the pictures with us. And now, if we can get a drum roll, our very first virtual event winner is Kendrick. And Kendrick, congratulations. You are our winner of our first virtual event. And Kendrick was looking here at my notes. He said that he thought he could probably run somewhere between 25 and 26 minutes, so he just simply split the difference. And I guess that's the strategy for winning this particular event, because he was only 19 seconds off. He said he hit his splits for the first 2 miles, but he couldn't quite hold on long enough to maintain that for the rest of the race. But he wins the event with a time of 25:49. Again, only 19 seconds off. And again, congratulations, Kendrick. You are our champion. And I really appreciate your participation and just the back and forth emails that we've shared. And congratulations in your win. And so, guys, that wraps it up. These are our top 3 finishers in our first event. Thank you once again to all of you who participated. I hope that you will check out other videos here on the channel. I hope that you will seriously consider signing up and participating in our next virtual event that will occur later in the summer, probably around the June timeframe. I'm still working on a date, but you'll want to come back to find out more details about that. Until next time, stay safe, train smart, and keep running.